Hey everybody, in today's video, we're going to be looking through the Chipotle menu and trying to pick out lower calorie options because I see it all the time with my clients. They'll go to a place like Chipotle, Panera, Smoothie King, and because they market themselves as healthier fast food chains, they believe that no matter what they get on the menu, it's going to be low in calories and it's going to help them lose weight. Just because something is marketed as healthy, first of all, it doesn't even mean it's healthy. But just because something is healthy, it also doesn't mean it's going to help you towards your fat loss goals. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through the Chipotle website together. It's under the nutrition tab. And just so you know, most restaurants nowadays, especially if they're fast food, they're going to have the calories on the restaurant menu. So I'm going to make the meal that I would make before I understood anything about calories. So I would usually get a burrito bowl. I would probably get the Chipotle honey chicken, white rice. I like pinto beans. I would get guac, salsa, corn. I would get sour cream. I'll probably do light sour cream and light cheese personally because I don't like it too cheesy and stuff. And then I would probably get a chips and queso. Duh. And I would probably get a Coke, I guess. So that comes out to a whopping 1,900 calories. Now let's assume that I have a smaller appetite. Let's say I only ate half of my order. That would still be 950 calories. Like, that's insane. Now we're being cautious. I'm going to take you through what's going through my mind when I'm trying to pick a better for me meal while I'm eating out at a place like Chipotle. First of all, I would probably get the salad. Romaine lettuce, cool. Nowadays, if there's two types of chicken and one chicken is lower in calories, I'm going to choose that one and I'm going to make it double. Because when you're eating out at a place like this, you really want to focus on high veggies and high protein to keep you satisfied for longer. Because typically when you eat out at a place like this, the food is very calorically dense. If you don't know what that means, it's just basically food that's very high in calories for a lower amount of food. Like, think about 100 calories worth of strawberries versus 100 calories worth of chocolate. What food are you going to be able to eat more, like a larger quantity of? Probably 100 calories worth of strawberries. I would avoid the veggies because the veggies are sauteed in oil. And even though it says, I'll show you, even though it says the fajita veggies are only 20 calories, I don't trust it because the FDA has reported that they allow for nutrition labels to be up to 20% off. And if you're trying to be in a calorie deficit, being 20% off is like, that can be like 200, 300 calories depending on who you are, maybe more. And that can be the difference between you being in a deficit versus not being in a deficit. Personally, I would probably skip the white rice or the rice in general because even though it says one serving is 210 calories, depending on the Chipotle you go to, some people are going to be heavy-handed, some people are going to be light-handed. If I did end up getting the rice, you know what I would do? I would get it as a side, and then I would weigh out how much rice I'm using. I'm being so for real. Same with the black beans. I might be more comfortable doing something like black beans in my bowl, but maybe I would get it on the side to be extra careful. It just depends how deep into my deficit I am. If I have more calories to play with, I don't mind taking risks. But if I'm really trying to be on my shit, I'm going to play it safe. The tomato salsa and the corn salsa, it's going to be hard to overeat because it's vegetables. And I want more volume in my meal, so I'm always going to do the fresh tomato salsa. And I'm also going to do the corn salsa. If you want a more medium spice or hot spice, obviously you can go. Salsa is going to always be low in calories. I would avoid the sour cream and the cheese and the queso, bro, because as you can see from this menu, that shit adds up. And I don't know about y'all, but every time I go to a Chipotle, they doll up that shit on there. They put so much on. So playing it extra safe, I won't include it in my meal at all. If I have more calories to play with, maybe get it on the side or get light and measure it yourself. But again, even if you put light, you never know how much they're going to put on there. And then I would get the Chipotle honey vinegar on the side, which it already comes on the side. And then for a drink, I would probably focus on a diet beverage, like a water or a Diet Coke. I would get no sides, no chips, and that's still 690 calories. That's still pretty high. Do you see what I'm saying? Even though this is going to be low-key, a bit of a bland meal because there's no cheese in it, there's no rice. But I guess if you're worried about taste, what I would tell you is that in the game of life, bro, there's got to be some give and take. So if you're somebody who's going to be eating out for every meal is not going to be able to taste delicious. First of all, just as humans, we were not designed to be eating hyperpalatable foods all the time. And if you were cooking from home more regularly, let's face it, your meals would be a bit more bland. Would they still be delicious? Yes, but they would be a little bit more bland nonetheless. And there's nothing wrong with that. But again, even though this is me being conservative, it's still pretty high. Like I might just change the chicken to normal just for the sake of the calorie amount. Or I probably wouldn't use all of the dressing because what the hell, why is this so high in calories? And the last thing I'll say is, even if you're being super careful with your calories while you're eating out, keep in mind that we also can't control how much sodium is being used in the food, how much MSG, whatever. And if you're eating higher sodium when you eat out, that might still be skewing your numbers on the scale. If you're just an average person who's just looking to lose a little bit of weight, probably doesn't matter, water under the bridge. But if you're someone who's taking bodybuilding a little bit more serious, that might be something to consider. If you're really trying to nail a fat loss phase, eating out is just by design, it can really skew and inflate your weigh-ins, and that can mess with what the progress that you think that you're seeing. If you like this video, please let me know by liking it, commenting down below, commenting anything that I missed, or maybe commenting another restaurant that you want me to do. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one.